Maybe. It might be the kind of view you have
Yeah, I
on.
got a thing here
Okay,
that
that
says-
looks like we're live now, and I just want to make sure that's on.
live YouTube on mine. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that looks like that's working.
So if we had this on YouTube, I could watch this on my TV, right?
Yes. Okay, guys, I'm just going to pull up the agenda here. All right, going through roll call. Paula's got that. No disclosure of pecuniary interests. No delegates tonight. Minutes from July 8th. Has everyone had a chance to review? Questions, changes, concerns?
Everything looked fine on my end.
Mine as well. I'm just trying to find where I had those. Yeah, everything looked good on my end. If looks good on you guys, motion to approve.
Mm-hmm.
Linda?
Paul, was that you? Sorry.
Sure.
Great, thanks. Second, Linda?
Yep.
Great, all in favor?
Yes.
Yep.
Aye.
Jules? Are you there?
Me.
Okay.
Yes.
Making
Yes.
sure. We're carried anyway. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Candace or
Who's all
Paula.
here?
Yeah, wait, guys, stop. Because it's,
Andrew's in the waiting room.
Get him?
I can't, wait. I can't get out of the YouTube.
Oh, where do you go to invite to let him in? I don't see the waiting room, but I'm logged in as you. I wonder, but I'm not the host though. Shoot. What do you mean you can't get out of YouTube? Like, what do you see on your screen right now?
I'm on YouTube. I can't get back to the Zoom so that I can see the,
Do you have a toolbar on the bottom or are you a full screen?
it's full screen, but
Because if there's a toolbar on the bottom, you should just be able to.
Oh, there he is.
Ah. Thanks, Paula. Sorry, Brian, was that what you were?
Yep. Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, where's that agenda? Sorry, guys. All right, my report. I will speak to, actually, I'll get to my coordinator position stuff under unfinished business. So we'll kick off with you, Paul, with the treasurer's report.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Everybody has a copy in front of them for the month-end financials for July 31st.
Mhm.
Our operating account stood at $27,341.03. Outstanding checks, which you have a copy of the detailed page. Ocean Bottom were $80. Text help was $113.36. Paycheck to Paula for $1131.83, being a total of $1325.19. Our operating account stood at the end of July, $26,015.84. Our reserve account was $35,554.10. We transferred from the operating as per the Board of Management decision to move 50,000. Interest was 88.59, gave us 85,642.69. Excuse me. Share capitals, patronage shares, 85.60 and 10. The petty cash at the time stood at 340.55. Deposit clearing
Oh. Paul. Can everybody else still hear Paul, or is it just
No.
me?
No, I can't hear him either.
Outstanding was 23,000.
Paul, you're cutting
Yeah.
out.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yep,
Can you hear me now?
you're back.
Okay, where do you want me to start at?
I think we were at the deposit clearing.
Okay, deposit clearing of 4,960. Prepaid expenses and deposits of 2,333.27. Our total current assets of $119,447.35. Excuse me, Tecumseh dollars of 23, pardon me, Tecumseh dollars current outstanding, 23,220. So our liabilities and equity of 96,227.35 gave us a total of liabilities and equity of 119,447.35.
We had a good second levy.
The second quarter, well, yeah, the first, well, you'll see the first quarter, the second quarter levies of was 66,000 total so far. The next one is due the end of next month.
Thank you, Paul.
Questions?
Any questions?
Comments?
Otherwise, motion to approve.
I'll
Thanks,
motion.
Brian.
I'll second.
Thank you, Jules. All in favor?
Yep, Linda.
Carried.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, I keep losing my agenda here, guys. All right. Paula, you're up.
Okay, does anybody have any questions on my report about members, new, the beauty refinery, the psychic reader, Taco Bell, global, local?
Looks good.
Oh, yeah, looks good. Nothing for me.
No, me either.
All right.
I'm good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Andrew.
Hey, hi everybody. Sorry, had a few technical issues. I know certainly some on my end, as well as just as getting used to Zoom. So since last meeting, town council has met a few times. The most, so July 14th is probably the one that's most out there. Town council received a delegation from Family Services, which is looking at establishing a community mediation program, specifically for disputes between neighboring property owners. So favorable consideration was given. We expect something to launch approximately September. And the hope is that we will end up with a mechanism to resolve issues free of charge through this program, which is a partnership of Family Services, St. Clair College, the Legal Assistance and Bilingual Legal Clinic, all of Windsor-Essex County. There was confirmation as well from Hotel Dieu Grace Hospital that they wish to proceed with the cardiac wellness and pulmonary rehab satellite facility to be housed within the proposed sports complex. It was confirmed it would be named for the Bob Probert family by the hospital. So that was just moving ahead with that as an intent to move ahead with that facility. We also had quite a healthy response from a resolution we passed a few weeks ago or months ago now. When Shoreline Week closed, we asked Post Media to reconsider their permanent closing of local coverage. Several municipalities across Ontario have supported our call for post media to reinstate coverage of the town of Tecumseh. Since that time, obviously, the Toronto Star has opened up the Tecumseh Local and hired a lot of the employees of Shoreline Week, or some of the employees. So we may get alternative coverage one way or another from that. We were, let's see, I think, yeah, that's pretty much, we'll just want to make sure I don't miss anything here. And
Oh,
okay, town hall.
Lost your audio.
All right. Town hall reopening was scheduled as of July 20th. So town hall opened up for appointments as well as the arena customer service. So council approved that. So it's open 1 to 4:30 Monday to Friday for drop-in service, as well as appointments 8:30 to 4:30. Appointments definitely preferred, and there is limited in-person interaction. And when we get to last night's meeting, there will be an expansion of this. But basically, staff occupancy is about 50%, so a lot of the staff are still working from home. Tecumseh was successful at an economic development initiative. The province has a rural economic development program. And so a grant was received from the government of Ontario to help streamline the building department's permit system. So moving to a digital permit type of scenario, town inspectors will be equipped with iPads to reduce the amount of time it takes to complete paperwork. And the hope is that for all commercial activities in the municipality, that the time spent on regulatory matters will be reduced dramatically. Town council has canceled its, looking at, we usually cancel last Tuesday of the month, so the next meeting is September 8th. Same for 2021, because the calendars are published in the fall. We have to get a handle on our dates in the future. Animal control services were renewed with Phil Burney. He's a contractor who does that service for ourselves as well as for Lakeshore. Things have changed a little bit since that time, but in 2019, the town ran a surplus of $913,981. So that was some good news, notwithstanding that COVID has taken a bite out of our revenues since that time, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's see. So the sign bylaw has been suspended for basically for the duration of the emergency. So there won't be any enforcement of the sign bylaw. That might be seem to be relief for many businesses. So that doesn't mean that the sign bylaw isn't going to apply in the future, but there are two things that were waived: the permit application fee, the limit of time, and a maximum of 3 signs on a given property. So that's an effort to help assist small business in the community and to help promote them getting back on their feet with the reopenings that are happening. Further, there is a public meeting that will be scheduled or has been scheduled now for different crops on agricultural lands, specifically there have been mushroom farms, cannabis. We want, typically the town doesn't tell a farmer what crop they can grow, but it's recognized. There are some in the community who are concerned with environmental impacts of different crops. So that meeting has been scheduled for September 8th. That was just completed last night. Moving on to June 23rd, sorry, to on to July 28th. So we had the OPP who gave a presentation about their coverage and responding to what was reported to be in our citizen satisfaction survey, a 10% drop in satisfaction with the OPP, notwithstanding that the community feels that it's safer. So the top issues, certainly in the north part of town, are just municipal bylaw violations, traffic complaints, and calls reporting a suspicious person. So I mean, especially in the commercial areas, shoplifting is certainly up there, and that seems to be growing from year to year. So this is something that the OPP are looking at very closely. But also, I think there's additional vigilance by the stores themselves. So they are involving police more because they've tightened up on their own security. And so catching more people in the act, that's one of the attributions. So it's being monitored, and we'll see what the trends are going forward. Moving on from that, the Skyline apartment building complex at Tecumseh and Southfield was approved by Essex County. There were no appeals, so shovels should be in the ground fairly shortly for that. At least they have all their planning approvals. Further to that, even though it's outside the BI boundaries, there's an apartment or a small apartment complex in the corner of Cameron 42 in L'Esperance, and that too was approved by Essex County. More virtual public meetings will be held in the town of Tecumseh. That was approved. So you're going to see other committees. You were ahead of the curve as being the first committee to go online. That is being, certainly it's been extended to other committees now in terms of being granted permission, but also for zoning applications and other types of public meetings that where delegations can speak at. So the first of those will be, actually we had the first of them last night on a condo designation for the Gateway Tower, the north side of Tecumseh and Southfield, as well as the former Sandwich South Town Hall or municipal building, which was turned into a business park designation. The town has extended all COVID-related relief measures to September 30th, 2020. So that's waiving of penalties for non-payment of taxes and fees. So again, an effort to help as much as possible, given the known shortcomings of revenue, both from commercial industrial properties as well as in households. Tecumseh Arena was opened on a couple days ago for ice rentals as of August 10th. And with the second pad opening in September. So that means that the Emergency Flood Relief Center will not be in the arena any longer. The Tecumseh Legion will now host the Flood Relief Center. The town adopted virtual recreational programming, so an invitation for everyone to take a look for their health and well-being, some stuff that you can do at home. The town also approved a community improvement grant for the Gateway Tower. So that's the Valente property, north side of Tecumseh and Southfield. The amount wasn't designated as of yet, but it's going to be based on really what the final design of the building is. But they expect to spend about 2 years building that building before occupancy, and we got a few other details about it last night as well, which is, and I'll share them now, that they are going to participate in a government-sponsored housing strategy. So the rents will be below market for some time. They had a commitment of about 10 years. So it's going to be, they will own the units as a condominium corporation. They will not divest of them for this 10-year period. And this was a requirement for them to participate in the federal program.
Is that a rent to own idea, Andrew?
Not to my knowledge. It's just making housing accessible to more people. So really, it will expire at 10 years. So I guess that's a risk that, because they're going to be renting, they'll, at the end of 10 years, they will decide as the owners what they want to do from that point forward. Whether it's sell to those who are renting, take the units back and sell on the market, or sell to some other corporation. So, but that's, I mean, it's definitely a different type of project than what we've seen, and hopefully it helps us address some of the housing issues that have been reported to us. And further, on last thing for that meeting, the town has asked for funding to improve the Via Rail crossing at Les Bronze Road. That one is, it's not the greatest in terms of its geometrics, and so the federal government provides about up to an 80% grant to do that work. So we're hopeful that we will be authorized to do that and proceed with improvements at that rail crossing, because I know the visibility is tough, and certainly it's an important part of our business district.
Okay, thank you.
So last night, mentioned the 2 public meetings. We also were advised through communications that Enbridge, which has purchased Union Gas, is going to increase rates by $8 for former Union Gas residents in the south, and just under $1 for their existing customers. So $8.91 to be exact for us. So that's disappointing. You'd think, my thought was consolidation of 2 large companies would drive efficiencies, especially with the layoffs in Chatham, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Lakeshore reported that they are considering a cannabis production facility on Jutras Drive. So I believe that's near Patillo.
Yep.
So they had a public meeting last night while we were having our council meeting. The town also appointed new members, or supported the appointment of new members to the Essex Region Source Protection Committee. That committee is tasked with ensuring our drinking water supply is free of contamination by proposing policies and ongoing monitoring and enforcement to ensure that our drinking water is protected. It was reported by the Chief Administrative Office that there's an ongoing dispute between Tecumseh and Essex County over the interpretation of a legal agreement in 2003 related to the municipal boundary and obligations by Essex County to improve Banwell Road. Banwell Road between the Canadian Pacific Railway and County Road 42 is a county road, and the county committed in 2009 to improve it by 2014 to an urban cross section. So to improve that neighborhood basically around the school and make it look sort of like what Banwell Road looks like north of the Via tracks to Bell Rivers, or to I guess it's Wyandotte. So Essex County has advised that they're not going to proceed with that, and despite our agreement, we certainly sent a strongly worded resolution that asking Essex County to honor their agreement in that regard. We considered the Golden Age Club Parquet. One of the area residents asked to purchase a portion of the parquet to expand their backyard. Town council decided it wanted to hang on to the property for future park development and retain it as parkland. council adopted a face covering policy for visitors and contractors to town facilities. So anytime you're indoors at a town facility, you are expected to wear a mask. It doesn't matter who you are. And just as an aside, I see the city of Windsor did so for all commercial and publicly available facilities. We haven't done that, but certainly I think it'll be looked at for its health promotion benefits by the health unit, undoubtedly. The budget timetable for next year was set. September 24th will be the opening of public engagement till October 16th. So if you have any requests of town council or the town to invest in programs or services, this is the opportunity. The plan would be brought forward to town council December 8th and potential adoption on the 26th. It was reported that the town is going through a projected deficit for 2020 of $144,000 net, in which $165,000 is based on property tax supported services, and $21,000 is actually a benefit or a surplus in what was charged for rates. So versus what was budgeted. So a net 144,000 surplus. And transit, we get a biannual report on transit. To nobody's surprise, COVID has had a significant impact on the ridership of the Tecumseh Transit Service. About 50% year to year on average, although that it actually is worse than that because the first couple years, or first couple months rather of this year, transit usage was up significantly. So as soon as the COVID emergency happened, we had a very sizable drop. So it is somewhat recovering, but it's nowhere near where it ought to be. So we're monitoring that, and that's where the no fares are being charged. So there is certainly a revenue hit on that, but I think it's unavoidable, and the service continues to be offered to serve the public who have no alternatives at their disposal. And finally, construction activity in the town is also down by a fair margin. Normally, last year was about $8 million over the year. Or sorry, this year for the first 6 months was $8 million, and last year was about 12.5 for the same 6-month period. However, it has been reported to us that there have been a lot of late starts as a result of the prohibition of construction for a couple of weeks. So we are expecting to have a pretty good recovery with all those projects that were delayed now getting underway, contributing in the second half of the year. And the number of applications for permits has declined by about 17%. So that, that sums up our past 3 meetings that we've held since the previous BIA meeting.
Thanks, Andrew. Any questions for Andrew on the report? Also, welcome, Mike.
Just one question, Madam Chair.
Yeah.
Andrew, so if the BIA wants to be included in the budget for various reasons, what's the earliest date that we should apply to the council?
Well, the submissions are open as of September 24th.
Okay, all right, just double checking the date. Thank you.
Certainly, your next meeting might be a good opportunity to refine.
Yeah.
You will have an opportunity going into October. The consultation does continue until October 16th.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Great, thanks. Good question, Paul, because we'll be talking about that today too, guys, and we hope to have the budget set by next month. So we'll get to that as well. Anything else for Andrew? Sweet, okay, thanks. Moving on to committee reports. I'll start with the marketing report and kick off with license plates. Paula, have we received those yet?
No, we haven't received them yet. Mel had to change.
Yeah, I remember we went back and forth a little bit
Flyers.
on that, but I didn't know when the ETA on the arrival.
Yeah,
was.
I sent him an email today, but I haven't heard back. So I'm hoping
Okay.
I'll hear from him tomorrow, but they should be delivered pretty soon.
I feel like any time now, so we'll keep you guys posted as those come together and we get those in-house. Also, COVID signage. I know our first batch went really well. Paula, how'd we end up with the second set of stuff we ordered?
Well, we passed out, thanks to Mike and Linda and myself, we passed out about 175, a little bit over 175 bags.
Yeah, thank you to everyone for your help in doing that. What was the response from the members like?
Very good. They
Yeah.
really appreciated it.
Good.
I'm still getting calls and or emails from members, just like, oh, hey, they really appreciated the gesture.
Good. And how about the signs that we got? We got the second batch from Jeff. Those are everything gone?
They're all
Everything
gone.
perfect.
They're all
Yeah.
gone.
Good.
And again, everybody really appreciated it.
Good. And Brian, thanks for your help too in that helping us out with that order. What else do I got on marketing? As a matter of fact, Paula, let's talk about, just want to keep you guys updated. I'll have more updates for you guys by next weekend, or next meeting, sorry guys. Ask the experts, and we're looking at trying to maybe bring something like that back, trying to, as we're moving into phase 3, of course, we're there. And more businesses are opening. What can we do to try to get back and promote? So Paula had a great idea. Let's bring back Ask the Experts. So we're looking at a few alternatives. One of them that I like is working with Eric at Eyes on Windsor on a special Tecumseh focused piece. So we're working on that. Have some more updates for you guys. I don't know if you have any feedback or ideas, but just kind of keeping you guys posted on some of the initiatives that we want to try to get back to.
Just a question, Madam Chair.
Yes.
What do we know about Eric? Good guy? What is he? Knows his stuff? He's the
Yeah,
right
he
guy?
is. He's a great photographer. He's been doing this for years. He's got a good following and a great base. We've got more information that we're looking through. I just don't want to tie you guys up with the specifics and details
Okay.
on, you
Okay.
know,
Thank you.
page views and that kind of thing. I like that he's, from what the conversation I think you had with Paula is, he's looking to try to do something like this. He's looking to get out to those neighboring areas, and looking at doing, tours of Tecumseh and
Okay.
featuring our businesses. So just kind of looking at trying to reinvent, obviously Ask the Experts, I don't think will be the right fit for it anymore, but kind of reinvent the marketing for our members and give them the subsidized opportunities to be noticed and featured in something. So if there's any ideas, keep them coming to the marketing committee. Otherwise, we'll keep you guys posted as that initiative is coming to fruition.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think I have anything else to report on the marketing committee unless I'm missing something, Paula.
No, that's it.
Thank you. Moving on to membership committee, the Tecumseh Dollars program. Holy smokes. Do you want to run this by this report, Paula?
So I think you all have looked at the end of July report. What I have to tell you though is as of today, we are out of Tecumseh dollars. So,
Not a bad thing.
pardon?
Not a bad thing.
No.
No, and I have maybe about 4 or 5 people who want to purchase dollars. So where we stand as of today is we've sold 53,295 value of Tecumseh dollars, down to 11,489,000 for the discount. $638 for the square fee. And our total dollar expenses year to date is 12,127. You subtract that against the 14,000 budget, leaves only 1,873. So that's where we stand as far as budget for the Tecumseh Dollar expenses.
Paula, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
On the, where you got the value of the Tecumseh dollars sold year to date, you've got 53,295.
Correct.
So that discount of 20%, is the 20% taken off of the 53,295?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, 20% of 53,295 is not 11,489.
But I believe that also includes was this our donated as well, Paula? That might be 20%, just our liabilities on those. I'm not sure.
There's also, no, it's just on the sales, okay, of what we sold. But I did sell to the town twice the $10 denominations because the town can only give out $10, no more than that. So that's included in the 53. So it's kind of
So what we
throws it off a little bit.
Okay, because we didn't charge them it didn't cost us the 20% to the town, or did it?
Oh, no, we did. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
So yeah, so I'm with Paul on where the 11, I assumed maybe there was added liabilities in there on the 20% because 20% of the 53,295 is only.
Here, let me help you a little bit. 20% of 53,295 is 10,659. So I'm just trying to figure out where the 11,489 comes in.
I would think that's the fees.
No,
Add the
because then the
to that.
fees are in addition to that. Fees are 638, which brought us to 12,127. So yeah, I'm
Okay, let me ask it one more time. So the total Tecumseh dollars sold was 53,295, and we gave a 20% discount on that total amount, right?
Correct.
yes.
I'm looking at my spreadsheet right now.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, my value is 5329 or 295 value.
Is that a formula calculating that 20%?
I'll have to double check it then.
Okay,
Okay.
either way,
You don't-
guys,
you
we're
don't
right
mind.
there because it's the difference of, where was that number? It's about $800 difference in what the discrepancy we see is. So either way, the remaining budget is still only like $2,600 and we're out of dollars anyhow. So I guess that kind of just brings us to the next part, which is what does the board want to decide to do? We can once again look at printing more. It does mean that we'll need to look at accommodating a bigger budget. So I guess before we even start talking about selling more, is the board on board with wanting to print more and continuing to push Tecumseh dollars through this year?
I totally agree for one.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm ecstatic about that. Yeah, absolutely.
Great. So if we're on board there, the question is, what do we want to allocate and what are our costs? So Paula looked into what we'll be at. And if we order another 20,000, the discount is the 4,000 plus about $1,100 in print costs and then our square fees. Or we could double that. And I want to make the recommendation based on how this year has gone already, and we're going to be moving into the holidays, we're moving into more businesses opening, that we move forward on a $40,000 print. It puts our budget, we need to accommodate and added $8,000 on the 20% and $1,500 in print, and then, $80 in square. So realistically, let's call it $9,500. I've already looked at the budget for the marketing where Tecumseh dollars are listed under. We've budgeted 32.8 and we're only at 15 is the actual. So we still have 17 and change left in that marketing and advertising budget, which is what that line item falls under. It's my recommendation we move forward with that.
Well, I totally agree with the recommendation on a couple of different accounts. Number one, we need it. The Tecumseh members need it. And also we save money by doubling to 40,000. It actually costs us $371 for that extra 20,000 worth of Tecumseh dollars.
Agreed.
Common sense tells you to move forward with it. In my
I mean,
opinion.
the nice thing is, I think we all can say that we'll budget for Tecumseh dollars again in 2021. The worst case is that we decide to shift initiatives and slow down the selling of those because we want to save budget somewhere. But again, even guys, when we look at bottom lines, I know they're different areas and kind of what we've accounted for, but on a budget of 151, we're sitting at 62. You know, there is some money to be spent, and I think we're seeing success with this. I'd like to move forward with that. I don't know if there's any other questions or discussion, or whether we should put a motion.
In
we
3
need
days,
one?
in 3 days, Paul and I sold $5,000 worth, so it's very
Listen,
well.
thank you both for holding down the fort and getting some of those sold. I know some of those, you know, aren't necessarily, it's 3 lambs, and she might have been getting those clients anyway, but I like her strategy. And again, it gives us an opportunity to interact with those people directly who are coming to Tecumseh from Amherstburg and LaSalle to shop with one of our members. You know, each and every one of those people that I spoke to and directed to Linda, it was, you know, thank you so much for shopping local. And they're very thankful that we've given them this opportunity. So if there aren't any more questions, do we need a motion on that? Those dollars are still within
Our budget.
that budget.
Well, let's ask the counselors. Brian, what's your thought?
Oh, sorry, you're the other way, Brian. You're muted now.
Oh, sorry. I think it's within, you know, because we've already approved the budget. So, I mean, if we're, you know, going more, I mean, I don't think we need a motion, right? I don't know, Andrew, do you?
It's on our budget line.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I just wanted to kind of make sure. I guess at least let's, you know, is everybody on board with that? I do want to ensure that we're kind of comfortable with that decision. I think it sounds like it.
Let's get Andrew's opinion.
So thank you, Chair. Yeah, like this is an existing service. You're reallocating between accounts at the end of the day. So you'll have a surplus in one account and a deficit in another. So I don't think you need any particular revisions. At least that's my interpretation.
Great.
Chair, can I raise a point, Candace?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm all in favor of this. I just think from a procedure standpoint, I think, yeah, we don't need to, you know, we don't need the members' approval to change the budget because we have the money, the funds there. But I think we should take a vote of the board. I mean, it's probably going to be unanimous, I would think, but we should do a vote. So we have direction somewhere written down like that as a board, we decided to increase this.
Good idea.
Otherwise, it could look like that, you know, down the road that the either executive directors just did it or the chair and yourself just did it. This way, as the collective body, the board is saying, yeah, we did this.
Yeah.
We don't need member approval to move things around because we're not increasing the overall budget.
I'm comfortable with that, Mike.
Okay, I just think that's maybe just better optics.
We're all on the same, it sounds like we're all on the same page anyway.
Yeah,
so
I know.
All right, Mike, you want to put that, you want to make that motion?
I don't know what the motion is. I think you can do it.
Okay.
I'll second it, whatever it is.
I'll make
Sorry,
the motion.
Linda?
I'll make the motion that we buy another $40,000 worth of Tecumseh dollars.
Well, no, so we order another 40,000 in print. Okay.
Yes.
And we into issue. Yeah. Okay. And this is just for the sale, right? Not the donation, just the for sale, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's specify that. So I guess the motion would be to move to issue an additional $40,000 in Tecumseh dollars for sale, and I guess make
sold. You can even say just sold Tecumseh dollars because they're two different. There's donated certificates and there's the sellable certificates. So as long as they're sold Tecumseh dollars, that makes sense.
I think our little motion has to address the 20% of the 40,000, not just print 40,000.
Well, I don't think so because that's how it goes already. So we're just making the motion that we're going to print more in that. That means that you know, it's still
Just gone.
our liabilities are still the same as they have been. We're simply just for a formality saying that we're going to move forward and print them.
And we're gonna, yeah, I guess we can specify, yeah, we're gonna subsidize, it's gonna be 20% discount still, and which is equals $8,000.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's just detailed. It's not like it's changed anything. It's just putting down the details.
Nothing's changed there. I
No.
mean, we could get into specifics about, you know, the added square fees and all. I don't think we need to. I think it's just so I don't know what that motion sounds like anymore.
We buy $40,000 in Tecumseh dollars for sale.
Okay, second on that.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Jules. All in favor?
Aye.
Linda,
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. Thank you. All right.
Dennis, can I just make a quick comment? I mean, there's no harm ever really, you know, making an unnecessary motion, right? To Michael's point, you know, we go ahead, we do a motion, we put it on paper, at least it gives more of a trail, right? So, you know,
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because if somebody asks you the question, who approved it, and we can back it up.
yeah, and again, one of the benefits I think we're seeing right now is, I mean, this is recorded, right? So if somebody came in and say, hey, what was the conversation? How did this go down, right?
That's
We've
right.
actually got it recorded now, so it's a little different than from before, but you know, really, if we are in question, there's no harm in, you know, putting it down specifically. It'll be in the minutes, but we do have this recorded as well, so
Agreed.
just a note there.
Okay, guys, thank you. So we'll move forward with that. While I'm speaking to Tecumseh Dollars, I think Freebie Fridays went really well. We got a lot of great comments and interaction on our social. Our timeline that we kind of had discussed was up. Paula, I don't know where we sit on the donated budget. Actually, I do. Let me go back to.
We've got, right now, currently, we have 2,475 left. Okay. Now that's not including the $1,000 holiday draw.
Okay, so we really have about 1,475 left.
Correct.
Do we want to hold off? I mean, I can wait a few more weeks. There's only, let's just call it 1,400 left for donations. How does the board feel? We'll do the big draw around the holidays. Should I maybe save some and do some Freebie Fridays popping up here and there? This is more just, again, it's within budget, more just for your thoughts and feedback. I think it went well, and I like that we get such traction. That kind of stuff helps the community to understand and know about the program. So I'd like to continue doing it. I just don't want to, you know, run through all of the dollars donated. What do you guys think?
well, it goes over well, so you should keep it up.
Okay. Well, if you guys like it, that's what I'll do. Rather than I'll take a break. It won't be every Friday, but we'll keep an eye on what the donated dollars are, and I'll continue to throw out some Freebie Fridays here and there. And Paula will work together on that. Jules, I'll keep you posted too. Don't forget to like those and share that kind of stuff, guys. It's super helpful.
So the Freebie Fridays right now is every Friday, right?
Well, we never specified. That's why I didn't. So right now I did them for 6 weeks in a row. But I didn't specify. So technically I could do a Freebie Friday whenever we want.
So I don't quite understand the Freebie Friday. How does it work?
So on Facebook, I just found some sort of way to interact with the following. So whether it be baseball kicks up tonight, who are you rooting for? Or what are you doing out in Tecumseh this weekend? What are you doing with the family? So just different things to get interaction. They were by far, I think, some of our most interacted posts. So people would leave, like one day it was a national emoji day. So it was like, send us how you're feeling today. What are your feels, right? And you get 30 something comments sometimes and lots of likes and shares and people participating, and they, you know, they win $50 in Tecumseh dollars.
So it brings it to Tecumseh's attention.
That's right. So it helps get the word out on social media. Every time people post that kind of stuff on somebody else's feed, it'll say that, you know, Paul Bastani commented on Tecumseh BIA's post, right? So there's more stuff and it just helps with engagement and helps more people learn about Tecumseh dollars, I think is most important, and then gets them out into people's hands. So
If you look
Okay.
on the Tecumseh dollar report, Paul,
Yeah, I saw that and I just wasn't quite sure how it worked in
Okay.
my infinite wisdom.
so we'll keep you guys posted on what's going on there. Thank you guys.
Paul, let me tell you, it's on, you can find it, it's on the Facebook, Paul.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. That's not your face in the book, is it, Mike? That's Facebook. Okay.
Your
that's
wife
Facebook.
comments quite often. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike. I love you, buddy.
Right back
Okay.
at you.
Associate membership is part of the membership committee, but we kind of covered that in Paula's report. I'll breeze by and go to streetscaping, which we don't have much on. Paula, did we ever hear anything back? Who were we talking? Were we talking to somebody about the bus shelter?
oh yes, they're still looking into that. Yeah,
Okay,
I had a meeting with Phil and
yes, I was at that phone meeting that I missed.
Brian Hillman and even Chad. And they really like the idea. In fact, they're even thinking of, they may need to put a second bus stop.
Okay,
There's only the one. As far as,
perhaps do you think that they might be able to get us any kind of information, something that we might be able to look at, including within the next budget?
I don't know. I mean, they're pretty busy right now.
Okay.
They're gonna try. One thing that they were suggesting is maybe just power steam the structure right now. Because of what's going on with the sewers and what have you, right, currently, it's kind of hard to make any kind of decision on it.
Yeah, and I'd be a little iffy to power wash that thing. That is old wood.
You'd blow it up.
Yeah, that might fall
Well,
apart.
no, I mean, they're not gonna, they're just gonna clean it. They're not gonna, and they use a power washer. No, they know what pound of pressure to use on it, and then maybe restain it.
Okay,
I think
if it's in
it's
that,
not.
I didn't realize it was in that decent shape. I thought it was pretty rickety, but
Are they gonna have to move it with that construction? Are they
Pardon?
gonna have to move it during that
No.
construction?
No.
okay. Well, let's see where that
I mean, they
goes.
like the idea. They love it that it would follow even with the new CIP whenever, that will take place. But they do agree to clean up, there's weeds and flower bed and all that. So they're looking into that.
Okay, we'll keep it in mind. Moving on, events committee. I don't know, I'll give you my feedback. Let's start with the Christmas party. What did you say? We have a $500 deposit on Beach Grove, right, Paula?
Correct.
I'd like to make the recommendation that we cancel this year's Christmas party. While it's a few months away and we may be in a position where we may be able to have social gatherings of more than 50 people, and the membership may be looking for something fun, and are they going to be in a position to do that? Are we going to be in a position? Do we keep it just to keep it, or there's an expense there and perhaps those dollars could be rerouted in a different way? I'd love to hear your feedback, especially as, local business owners out there. What would you think about, if you weren't sitting around this board, what are your thoughts?
My first reaction would be that it might be a little bit too early to call that. But a couple of concerns come up. One being is, as far as commitment to Beach Grove, as far as the ordering and the planning, do we still have time to make a decision, or does that have to be done shortly?
I'll have to look up the contract and even call Beach Grove. I don't know if the deposit will be refundable or not.
Maybe we could find that
I
out
don't-
before we make a decision.
Yeah, let's look into that. Those are some good questions, Paul. Let's look into that stuff either way. Refunded or not, at some point, we've got to start September, I can't believe it's August. And so, it just, we've got to try to just figure out moving forward, because again, will we want to reallocate some dollars? But it's food for thought, and, regardless where things are, I look forward to feedback from you guys, whether it's, now or later, on what, even if things were in the same state or moving forward, is that the best way for us to spend the dollars this year? I don't know. It's just
a great point.
conversation at
I'm
this
glad you
point.
brought it up. And this way here, we can at least look into it and say, okay, well, if we need to make a decision, if we need to cancel it, well, it's not the end of the world, but let's do it in the best interest of the membership and the board of management.
Agreed.
We're trying to figure out what we're going to do with our kids, right, in school, and that's in like 3 weeks, right? So I don't know if it may be appropriate that maybe we delegate this to the executive, right? And if Paula is going to get some information, and depending on what Beech Grove comes back with, that now we're talking about getting into September 9th. Depending on what happens between now and then, I'm comfortable if the, chair, vice chair, and treasurer, if somebody else wants to be part of that, sure. But, I'm fine if you delegate that. I'm kind of on the side of caution right now that, we don't know what's going to go on in 3-4 months, and the way things are going. I don't know. Hopefully, cross my fingers, things get much better, but
yeah,
I just don't know at this time. So
I'm with you, Brian, and I get it. So why don't we start exactly where, Paul, you suggested? Let's find out, is the deposit refundable? If it is, great. When's that deadline? That'll help make some decisions. If it's not, then we know where we are as well. Leave it with us. We'll just kind of continue at this point. Once we get that information, we can make a decision, but we'll just kind of keep an eye on what's happening.
Yeah.
Candace, if I may.
Yes.
In the paper a couple days ago, they're talking about the banquet halls, like Charo and Caboto and those places. They're not anticipating opening before the first of the year. Because you have to, even if it goes to 100 people in your bubble, how are you going to 6 feet them apart? And that, so,
Yeah.
But go ahead. Absolutely check to see if we're refundable. But personally, I can't see it just by what the people that are in that field are saying. So.
Good point.
Yeah, I'm with you, but we don't have to make any firm decisions right yet. Let's figure it out. But I'm with you, and Brian, you nailed it. School, people's minds right now are in a different place. It's crazy. So we'll leave that for now. Thanks for your input, guys.
Maybe just in light, if there are any decisions that need to be made before the next meeting, I'm fine to make the motion that we just delegate that to the executive, and then if you want to bring it back, if nothing needs to be made, that's fine. But I don't know, just
email us.
Yeah, just email us, let us know, and update us. But if the executive wants to bring it back and have us discuss it as a board, then do that. But
Do you need a motion for that or no?
It's within the events committee, truly, but
That's
so
right.
I don't think there's any direct motion that needs to be made. But if the executive wants to, be part of that decision, then
that's right.
I think we just leave it up to you.
Sounds good. We'll keep you guys posted once we hear more. Go from there. Banner contest. Oh, perfect. Looks like all but one student has picked up their award.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you guys. Thank you, Paula and Linda, for holding that down. I'm sure it couldn't have been easy getting everybody scheduled in.
It went pretty good though, and I have to hand it. The parents were really understanding. And of course, the kids are always excited. They did a great job. Kids are amazing.
Good. Okay. I don't think I'm missing anything else in the event committee. Last committee we have is governance, and we never heard back on the COVID from the town, but I think we've got, our policy in place. Paula, we'll take a deeper look at that. I'm going to be speaking in a minute to two people in the office, but for now, I think we're operating fine. MOU, same thing, just on hold for now. We've got some other things on the plate. But since we're speaking of that stuff, who wants to be on the budget making committee?
Yeah, I'll sit again.
Thanks, Linda. I will too. Paul,
Be
you
more-
in with us?
Be more than happy to.
So the plan here, the four of us will connect separately, guys, and then we'll keep you posted. My goal, and I think we'll all be on the same page with this, is to obviously have our budget done much earlier. So by next meeting, I'd like to have a solid budget for the board to review. It'll be, of course, the budget committee's recommendations. Let us know how you feel, because if we need any changes, the goal would be to be presenting those at a October 14th AGM is the plan. That would put us far enough ahead to get a membership approval and forward to council so that we have a budget for January 1st.
What was that date again? Sorry. October
The
what?
goal will be October 14th. It'll be the regular meeting,
All right.
but we'll push back the regular meeting and start with the AGM.
Okay, thank you.
That's all things, goes well and, nothing comes up with budgeting or figuring that stuff out, but I think we should be fine there.
Everything usually goes smoothly, doesn't it?
I think so. Yeah. Which brings me to another point, since we're talking about that. I was going to do that with adjournment and then I'll get on to something else here, but AGM as well as regular board meetings. What are our thoughts? I'm a little torn. I'd like to continue meeting like this. I think for the most part, Brian brought up a good point. I do like that they're recorded, they're available for people. I think there's more access. But I do miss being around you guys, and sometimes we'll need to, in a sense like an AGM. What are our thoughts as we're now in phase 3 to either meeting in person for a September 9th or the October 14th? And is that the best way to do it? Sometimes, the more I think about it a little bit, what if the entire membership wanted to show up? They couldn't if they wanted to in a smaller building, but we have to watch nonetheless how many people we do try to put into our office. We know that we don't typically have more than a few visitors, but what are our thoughts on having the AGM at the office and a meeting going back to that? What do you guys think?
Well, now that we're in stage 3, I think the COVID protocol is still in place, is it not? Right? So as
Yeah.
far as social distancing is concerned, so if we were to have a meeting, let's say at the, at the BIA office, I mean, we're pretty restricted, are we not?
Well, I think we can manage as a board.
No way.
Realistically.
I think we could add a table to the end and we could all get around it 5 feet apart anyway.
And I'm not going to, that's a basement, that's tight confined space. No, we can't,
That's
we
why
should
it's
have
a
a meeting.
conversation, Mike. That's why we're talking about it right now. Nobody else is, we're not forcing it on anybody. It's just discussion at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I would kind of concur with Michael there. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't know yet, even council, we're still online for, the foreseeable future. I don't know yet what the timing on us, physically meeting back again, but we're meeting in the Horwood room, and there's certainly not enough room in the Horwood room for us to meet there. Depending on when, we wanted to have the AGM, we could maybe go up to the center ice room, space out, give the, the option. If we want to.
Is the AGM, do you see the AGM being completely doable in this format? I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I
right.
Just as long as we give people the access online, like people can, come in and, we haven't had, or we did have, some public meetings and people would, Zoom right in. So I don't personally see an issue with us having an AGM.
really quickly, does anybody in council, you might be able to help again, would this be the same format? Or because like, this is just viewing, right? It's the same way that like we're doing right now. Are we obligated to give at an AGM that forum opportunity? Right,
Like you're talking about what, like an open forum?
well, I mean, is it any obligation of ours at an AGM to be able to hear from our members? In this format, while our members can be present to the meeting and watch what we're doing live, there's no opportunity for them to interact with us. And we're going to be looking for approval on a budget. Are we at all concerned with the lack of being able to communicate with, again, I'm just thinking about our obligations. I'm usually not worried. We don't usually have a big attendance for the AGM. I'm just wondering about the obligation to the membership, and maybe something, we don't have to make that decision right now, but maybe if you guys don't know, we might have to look into it. I don't.
Well, our obligation first is to send a notice to all of our members at Thursday AGM and give them a copy of the budget so that they have enough time to review it. If they have any questions or concerns, they can send that in. But they're not going to vote on the budget. The only
No.
membership, yeah.
Yeah, but that's their opportunity
The obligation. That's the only obligation, is to give them a copy of the budget.
So I see Andrew had his hand up as well. Andrew?
Thank you. I mean, my take is that yes, you would need to offer the membership some sort of opportunity to have dialogue with the board and communicate their interests. I think you can do it here on Zoom. There is an option for raising a hand, and so if you have a meeting chair or like someone who organizes the speaking roles, and then I think you can accommodate anyone who wishes to speak. You just keep them on, the host would keep the person on mute, on forced mute, until it's their turn to speak. So I think it can be done electronically. With your current package, I believe you have up to 100 people.
Yeah.
So I think
I know we changed the way we were doing that because we were worried about anybody being able to have input, so they're not in the meeting, but they're able to YouTube it. That might be something we could look into. And Paula, you bring up a good point as well. Could it be easier to send it out, even if we accommodated perhaps that there's a deadline to submit? Like, would that accommodate that? If we made sure to put it out early enough time, we gave them a month, which was maybe even a week before the meeting, and said that we need their feedback by, or at least try to encourage that, you know, I don't know, something for us to think about. We don't have to make these decisions right now. I just, while we were talking about it, wanted to see if there was any insight there. At the very least, it looks like we could do a Zoom meeting, and I can look into the option that Andrew's talking about too.
Well, I mean, previously we would literally, send out 500 letters.
Yeah.
Right. And then put a notice in Shoreline. This way we'll just do it on Facebook and Twitter.
That's right. And
the budget on our website.
Just ask, we can try to encourage early feedback to try to help that. I mean, it's, again, nothing I'm too worried about. We don't typically get a ton, but I want to make sure that we are meeting those obligations. Okay, so for now, we'll just continue to plan digital. All right, under new business, at this point, the only thing that I really have to report, discuss is a little frustrating, but on our coordinator position, we're back to square one and the drawing board. I reached out to Radhika to our candidate this week to discuss the last opportunities we did, which was perhaps a September start, looking at what the school year was going to do. Much like a lot of parents out there right now, not sure how to make decisions and what to do. So the candidate has kindly just declined from the running and thanks us all for our time and wishes things were different and that timing was different. So here we go.
Merry Christmas, Paula.
Paula is wonderful as always and is bearing with us for now. So just to let you guys know, Friday I'll be putting another post out. I won't be able to get to it before Friday. I'm in a little bit of a different, most of us are, but in a different position these days, and I have more freedom. I don't have the same flexibility and picking up a little bit of work. So my schedule is a little tighter than it used to be. It won't be a problem. It's just, I'm going to put a posting out and I'm going to start looking at resumes as they come in. My goal will be to hopefully have some qualified candidates that I'm calling as they're coming in and sitting down with them. But I may look to, Linda, if you don't mind, I might need some assistance again. I'll keep everybody posted when I can, but at this point, I'm just going full throttle and trying to get this out there, moving, and potential candidates. If you guys have anybody in mind, know of anybody, the one negative uptick, I guess, here is that much like myself, there's a lot of people that are sitting here unemployed right now and might, be looking for sustainable employment opportunities. So let's see where Friday's post takes us, and please just keep your ears to the ground. There are a lot of great qualified individuals out of work right now. And so if you guys hear of somebody or have any leads, please direct them to me or to our job posting. I'll share it with everybody as well. I'll keep you posted.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Paula, you
Yeah.
don't really want to be home with Vern full time, do you?
Apparently not.
How about if we give you half days on Monday and all day Friday?
Anybody want a job?
Had one, been there.
Anyway, so that's just keeping you guys posted. I don't know if there's questions, concerns, comments, or anything I may have missed or anything anybody wants to address before we adjourn.
Well, just a concern as far as the previous elected candidate. So is she out? Is she gone? Is it totally off the table, or is it because of her child going to school? Is that the idea?
The idea was that, the plan was they were going to have a child going to school this year. And quite frankly, they're not sure if they're going to be sent. It was going to be their, I think, kindergarten. So they don't know if they're going to bother. They haven't made that
Okay.
decision. And
Okay.
I appreciate the candor there, rather than just trying to secure a job and possibly walk out on us, or who knows, they're just not in a position to make that decision. And it's
Okay.
Was she
all right.
still working? Was
no,
she still working? No?
no, unfortunately, that person had to leave their previous employment because childcare.
Yeah, okay.
So, it's a tough situation out there for a lot of parents, and it's a difficult time, and whether that'll work for us or against us, because there's a lot of people in this boat, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Brian, sorry, you wanted to.
Yeah, I know our CAO had mentioned, something, and, COVID had come around. So I'll give her a call in the morning and, see if she wanted to, pursue or what her thoughts were, because there was some, town, sharing that she had
Yeah, that
kind
we
of proposed. So yeah, maybe there's, maybe it's timely. But I'll speak with her in the morning and just kind of let her know where things stand right now. And maybe there's an opportunity now, right, for some more of a partnership.
Yeah, I'm open to anything at this point. I think regardless, I'm going to get that post up Friday. I want to get moving so we can at least get some candidates back in. And rather than the strategy I had before, I'm just going to start trying to get through those and call them as they come and see what we find out there. So I think that's all I have.
Can I
Linda?
ask? I don't understand where Brian's coming from. Like, what is it that he's going to talk to Mark about?
Well, Marg had, kind of thought, would there be an opportunity to kind of share, right? Maybe the BIA had somebody part-time, there'd be a town employee, you know, doing some things. I'm not sure, again, that, you know, the specifics of it, but
It was a loose, if I'm not mistaken, that was, geez, the first hire, I've lost track of what cycle of attempting to hire we're on, but I know that that had come up. But you're right, Brian, I don't remember the specific details. But she was just looking at how we might be able to share, or some areas that the town could use some help in as well.
Yep.
So yeah, let's see what she's saying.
if
Andrew?
anything, I'll keep her apprised of,
Thank
you know,
you.
where things are at. So.
If I may expand on that, so I believe the intent was you'd contract with the town for the overall service. So you would have a person who would probably spend half the time, or whatever the time commitment is, but they'd spend, you know, a portion of the day with BIE stuff, and then the other portion with town-related business. You'd only be charged, or the BIE would only be charged for the time actually spent by the employee. The different activities such as finance and HR things, you know, the policies, those could be outsourced back to the town so that the board doesn't have to worry about them, you know, now or in the future. I know as a, you know, as I'm just gonna maybe throw it out that there are a couple of part-time staff at the town. So there's certainly one who assists council today. You know, perhaps that's you know, there's an opportunity there for if they wish to work full-time hours. So that I think her vision was to not have the coordinator be bogged down in sort of the mundane and routine, and that those kinds of things can be given to the staff who are already doing that kind of thing, and that the time left would be allocated towards doing strategic things that the board wished to pursue.
It's an interesting concept. I'm open to hearing, you know, what that might look like and what she had in mind. So definitely keep me posted. Thank you, Andrew. Does anybody have anything else, or Paula, is there anything I may have missed?
No, I don't have anything else.
In that case, next meeting is set for September the 9th. We will continue to run the meeting as we are. I will send out my apologies, guys. It slipped my mind, and then Paula was away and we were missing each other. So I'll probably just get the calendar and going early next week. And then that way it's all set and the invitation's out and we're all scheduled.
Okay, fair enough.
Motion to adjourn. All hands went up. Paul, thank you. Seconded by Brian. All in favor.
Aye.
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 Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks, Candace. Thanks, everybody.
Have a great night.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank
You too.
Good night.